Good morning. So today I'm going to be doing a live Q&A and a quick um, chill out with Vinnie Ciesielski. So if you don't know, my friend and co-host, Dr. Jen Cavis May, she and I have a podcast called the Tuned and Strong Podcast. And recently we interviewed Vinnie, and we're just going to be doing a quick little Q&A and a little catch up with him and find out what's going on. Yeah, so if you haven't gone and listened to that episode, please hop over to Facebook, YouTube. His episode won't be dropping until early September on any of the audio platforms. And please put a comment below where you get your podcast. We make sure we stream the Tuned and Strong podcast there. We'd love for you to subscribe. But if you want to get the video, you can get that exclusively on YouTube and on my website. So if you go to musicstrong.com, scroll down the page, you'll see the Tuned and Strong podcast. You'll see his episode. Go to the episode list. And I think it's episode 26. I'm not 100% sure. 28. So, yeah. If you have any questions for Vinnie, please drop them below because we would love to answer those. We had such a fantastic conversation with him, and really want you to go listen to that episode because his stories from the road are absolutely incredible. We didn't want the conversation to end, quite frankly. So, adding. Oh, he is! Look, we finally got it to work.
It's amazing. I have no idea what was going on there, but it wasn't good.
Wasn't working at all. No, I don't either. And apparently, FYI, you cannot do this on a laptop. It has to be done on your phone.
And I'm sitting right in my big old iMac, and I see the picture and your page and everything about it, but yeah, nothing.
I know, right? Well, thank you for joining us. We're going to keep it brief since, this is what long we're supposed to.
Been on air for 27 minutes.
Yeah, basically, because we've already taken up that time. So tell us about your, you were a fantastic guest, and we had such amazing conversation. What have you been doing since we interviewed you now? You've started getting into, you've got some Mouthpieces, you're doing some more touring, I think, and you're getting into swimming again?
I actually got back on the bike in earnest a couple of weeks ago. I had taken I think we talked about it in the interview. I had taken a little bit of a hiatus. For some reason, when I would think about getting on the bike, it would remind me of some of the things that have happened over the last year. Anyway, I jumped back on. I did 10 rides and 6 swims in the last 2 weeks. So, starting to hit it hard, starting slow. And Zwift is my friend. You can see in the background here. There's my bike.
Nice.
And
what kind of bike do you have?
I have an Argon 18 Gallium Pro. It's very nice. It's much more bike than like my horns kind of match my level of ability. My bike is way up here, and my ability is way down there. I'm like a diesel train, slow and steady and fairly reliable when I'm on the bike. So if you want to go fast, I'm not the guy you want to ride with. So.
But I'm hoping maybe that's why we should ride together.
Yeah, I'm hoping to whip myself back into decent shape by September and maybe get a couple of months down here in Columbia on the roads down here. Although folks down here, I'm not sure. I'll have to keep an eye on things because I see people riding. I just need to find out where you can go to kind of get off road. But it's been good. No touring, no big touring. I've been doing a couple little spot dates here and there. I've been doing a lot of TV. We did the Tonight Show, we did Ellen, we did Fox and Friends, and coming up next week we're filming something for the CMAs, or something to do with the CMA, with a guy named Luke Combs. Maybe you've heard of him.
Oh, is that
it? Yeah.
Is that all?
The guy all the TV with has got a song out now called "To Kill a Little Time with You," and honestly, it's a cute little song, and it's been a hit for him, and it's a good summer song because it's about booze and all that stuff. Yeah, we've been doing that, and he's doing a little guest thing with Luke, so we're going over. We're rehearsing on Tuesday and filming on Wednesday, and yeah, a bunch of different stuff. I'm playing Ryman That might be
Are
the weekend.
you?
Yeah, I think it's the 24th with a guy named Dave Barnes. He is
I love
phenomenal.
David Barnes.
We've done
Oh, he's my favorite.
we've done his last couple records, and that had horns on. And so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be myself, my friend Tyler Summers, and Roy. No, Roy.
Roy, we are actually interviewing on Thursday on the podcast.
As you should. He's got a great story. He's a force to be reckoned with for sure.
He's an amazing human being, much like yourself, and freaking funny. Funniest person I know.
He is a funny, got a serious side too, you know, and he's a great player. He's very he's a student of music and of the instrument, and he's a good guy. I'm glad he's my friend. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Michael.
We are.
You know, I heard that song on the radio and I wondered if that was you.
Yeah. No, I mean that I didn't play on. I did play on Dave's stuff. I didn't play on John's stuff. John had a high school buddy, I guess, that played trumpet or something along those lines. He did a great job. We're getting ready here at the house for my wife's big birthday celebration. The entire family is coming in. All of her kids and all the grandkids will be here, and we're gonna smoke meat and swim in the pool.
Yeah. Tell me about your pool.
A family Olympics. We're having now we've got anything from a newborn like 6 or 8 months all the way up through 10 years old with the kids, and then of course a bunch of dumb adults. We're going to do horseshoes, badminton, volleyball, lawn darts, new school lawn darts, not the ones that can kill you. We're doing axe throwing, so that'll be fun too. Football, wiffle ball, pool basketball, pool volleyball, and we're going to try and make a TikTok video where everybody catches a ball before they jump into the pool. That should be a day or two's worth of. We're going to go canoeing. We're having a cigar night, and we'll have a bonfire every night. I'm ready to go. So it's going to be like 20 people. It's going to be.
This is like a retreat.
Yeah, and nobody. That's the only rule. I'm just kidding.
Nobody what?
Nobody can.
No, you cut out. What was that? Nobody what?
Nobody can use my. No, but I'm just 20 people waiting for one bathroom. That would kind of suck. So yeah. So life in Colombia is great, and things are really well. Really happy to be back on the bike. I'm going to practice my horn and do that today. You know, the tour really fired me up. My favorite 3 weeks of the year every year are in July, when the Tour de France is going, and I don't watch any other bike racing really. I'll watch because it's kind of cool, but that tour, for some reason, man, the scenery and recognize the places that you've been over there and all that stuff it's just amazing to see them. You know, if they can suffer like that, on a 10-mile climb, that's an average of 9%. I'm just like, dude, my little 3% hill, I can do any day. So I'm super happy to be back on the road to being in really good shape. So, and yesterday I had a lesson. This may not mean anything to you, but any trumpet player or brass player that's watching will be thrilled by this. I had a lesson with a guy named Bobby Shue. Bobby is a very famous trumpet player, probably in his 80s now. He told me a year and a half ago, Doc Severinsen called him for a trumpet lesson at 92 years old. This guy is that good. I mean, he's just so intuitive. He knows so much about the physiology of playing trumpet, and it was just it was really really a special hour. And the basically, as you know, with music or with fitness, you usually just need to get people out of their own way. Like, the hardest thing about going to the gym is getting in the car and driving to the gym. Once you get there, it's fun, right? And you know you're doing good and you feel better about yourself and all this kind of same thing. And you can see where my bike is. The longest trip of the day is from this seat to that bike. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and
let's go.
Bobby has a way of doing things, and that is just, you're. I was lamenting over an issue that I've been having lately, and what I've done is he basically said it's it's not you. Um, he said, you've kind of talked yourself into this issue. It's a non-issue. It's not an issue. You're concentrating on it, and it's becoming your focus. So he started talking about some other things completely unrelated. And before long, I had forgotten even why I was getting a trumpet lesson with him. I mean, he's just brilliant like that. He just can take all the variables out and give you good solid fundamentals, and everything else will follow. And it's the same thing with fitness or diet or exercise or any of that stuff. When you go and open that refrigerator, what time of day it is, why you're going, what you're doing, and as you open it, you start to make decisions about whether you're going to. First of all, it starts at the grocery store. Don't buy the crap that you know is going to be a problem for you. And then if it's not in the fridge, you won't eat it most of the time. So it's the same thing with everything. Good building blocks, good fundamentals. Starting from the beginning, having a trainer or somebody who works with you that listens to what's going on and is able to sort of paint a picture or draw a picture and help you paint the picture yourself. So that's what you guys do, you professional trainers and all that kind of stuff. And especially when it's so specific to, if anybody that goes to your page looks at, you have workouts for flute players and cello players and bassoonists and trumpets and French horn and tuba and drummers. And it's just like every time I see a new one pop up on your page, I'm like, how in the world does she do this? But it's really cool. So if you're a muso and you want to not be fat for the rest of your life, I can say that but Angela's the girl to see. So that's
Much
a
appreciated, Vinny.
not so brief synopsis of what's going on in my world lately.
I love it. I love it. And what I've told everybody is now your episode doesn't drop until beginning of September. So we're a little early on this, but anybody can go watch it right now, either on my website or on my YouTube channel, which is Music Strong Fitness under the playlist. Tuned and Strong Podcast. Please hit the subscribe button and you're not going to want to miss Vinny's episode because, well, one more question before I let you go and go bike and trumpet. Actually, you're doing something with Mouthpieces right now, are you not?
Yeah, there's a company. I met a guy online several months ago. This guy made this announcement about a new mouthpiece company called Venture Mouthpieces, VENNTURE. And the things that he was talking about seemed very innovative to me. Mouthpiece is a mouthpiece. It's been the same for over 100 years. But the way that this guy is designing and allowing the player to have some latitude with the design, he's developed from the ground up. His name is Doug McVeigh. He's a trumpet player also. He used to have a company that made like micro parts for guidance systems and all that kind of stuff. And then he kind of made a little bit of money, and now he's pursuing it. Now he's going to piss it all into trumpet mouthpieces. But he's developed from the ground up a software where you can go in. We scan the mouthpiece and we take 40,000 data points in about 10 or 12 minutes, and then you can change any one of those 40,000 parameters to create, like if you have a mouthpiece or a head joint or whatever it is, kind of relating to the flute and the piccolo. If you have a mouthpiece that you love, and it's 90% there, we can take it that next 10% through a lot of different things. He's offering a stock line right now called the Lead, LEDE mouthpiece, and we send out this kit that's got 4 different backbores and 11 different cups. So you can try 44 different combinations over the period of 2 weeks to pick the mouthpiece that works best for you. Really, really cool. I'm doing the social media, which is so hysterically funny because 5 years ago, like, Insta what? And share some fulfillment, and I'll be doing some of the shows and signing artists and that kind of stuff. Doug takes care of the nuts and bolts Works 12 or 14 hours a day at this point, and it's starting to catch on. People are really digging it. The classical guys, we're allowed to call them nerds because that's our demographic.
Yeah.
The classical guys are jumping on it because for the first time in their life, they're getting a mouthpiece that they put in the horn and they can actually play high notes. You know, every stupid trumpet player in the world wants to play high notes. These classic all over the horn, right? But they want to be able to do it up an octave, and we're giving them a piece of equipment that's allowing them to do that with ease. So Venture Mouthpieces, it's www.venture, VENNTURE.MP. Mouthpiece, get it? MP. And it's really an incredible company, and I've been having a good time. Still part-time side hustle, you know. I work a couple of hours a day answering emails, and you can see behind me, that's this is my setup for Venture there. So, you know,
Nice.
printing, yeah, and then over on that side you can kind of see where all the mouthpieces and all that stuff are. So it's been fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, my last question for you, and we were going to talk about the bike bag, but nobody has any questions apparently, so I guess not. By the way, thank you for letting me borrow that because I get so many questions. How do you get to? Well, because Vinny
But
let me borrow the bike bag.
it's super easy, and it's Scion, right? SCION.
Scion.
Oh, Scion.
SCICON. Yeah.
Yeah, and they make it really easy to. Most bike boxes you have to completely disassemble. You have to take the stem out.
Yeah.
You have to take the pedals off, the whole 9 yards. You take the front wheel off and the back wheel off. You put it in a frame. You put the wheels in. You zip it up. Bang, zoom. It's ready to go. I don't think you want to probably pack it. Although bike flights, they will take that bike bag. Bike flights will take the bike bag, and for $50, you can get it anywhere in the United States for $50. And then because you don't have to put much back together, front wheel, back wheel, you just get off and I used it for 2 years on the road with Martina, and I got to ride in some places that were, again, way above my pay scale, and met a lot of really good friends that to this day, I mean, that was 5 or 6 years ago, we still stay in contact. And when I do a Strava ride, they're giving me a thumbs up. You know, it's really cool.
It is fun. And I've gotten to ride in some incredible places. I would not have had the opportunity and, you know, would have been lamenting. Like before I met you, I went to Washington 3 years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could ride out here. It's perfect. But last question before we go. If you had to pick one, what is your favorite memory from the road that you would love to share with other people? I know there's a lot of
very early in my career in Nashville, I played with a band called Max, Carl, and Big Dance. Max, I may have already told this story, but it really is my favorite story. Max was a great singer and songwriter. He was with 38 Special, and he wrote and sang "This Heart Needs a Second Chance." Do you remember that song? I wish I could sing it. If I could sing it, I'd be. So Max started this band, and I'm going to drop a bunch of names. I'm going to kick them over to you, kick them back because I'll need to tell the story again. But Glenn Fry, R.I.P., produced the record. So when they did the Hell Freezes Over, they had this big tractor trailer studio, and they recorded every night. So over at Soundcheck here in Nashville, they backed that big trailer up, and we recorded a record. So, and it was so much fun. Jeff Coffin from Dave Matthews was on there. I mean, so many different. Josh Leo played in that. It's so many different super cool people that played in that band. So Glenn Karuba, my good friend, vice president of Pearl Drums, he still plays quite a lot, writes books, and helps Pearl make a lot of money over there. They're based in Nashville. So we were all super young. We got a call after the record came out to do Don Henley's wedding. Yeah. So we flew out to LA. We went down to Malibu. It's at this big ranch, and it was absolutely incredible. The LA Philharmonic played the ceremony. Yeah. And there was a who's who of everybody. And this story has so many layers and such a happy ending. So So we go through and we're sitting there and, oh my God, that's the girl from this. And holy crap, that's the guy from this. Just star-studded, really, really amazing. And we go to dinner. We had dinner. They treated us like we were guests at the wedding. We had great hotel, you know, near the beach. We were guests at the wedding. They took care of us VIP. And so Tony Bennett opened the show with his trio. Then Sting, Billy Joel was there, and then Don's band played, and it wound up being all of the Eagles, and they played, and and then we went on. We were the wedding band basically, you know, but we were doing our show. So I like to say that all those guys opened up for us, you know what I mean? So we're on stage and we're playing, and they're throwing down. They are having a great time. And let's see who came up. Sheryl Crow came up and sat in, who I knew previously just from different things with Lyle and all that kind of stuff. Oh, the guy that did, I can't think of his name, piano player. He came up. The last guy to come up and sit in, which was really cool, was Bruce Springsteen. And he did 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and he sang the crap out of it. And as he's leaving the stage, you know, I'm high-fiving Springsteen, right? And I'll back up just a little bit before the show, because this is a really cool part and hysterically funny. The Chieftains were playing at the reception. Yeah, and I was here, and like 15 feet to the left were the Chieftains, and I'm standing in front of a caviar and frozen bottles of vodka. It's like a setup, right? And I'm just kind of perusing it, like 15 bottles of booze and caviar and all the accoutrement. And I'm standing there looking. This is Big Vin, by the way. So I was up close to 300 pounds. And somebody steps up just behind my ear and says, "What are you having?" And I without even missing a beat, I said, "Well, I think I'm going to try this one right here." He said, "Pour 2, we'll do it together." And I turned, and it is, he did The Shining, and he did,
Jack
Jack
Nicholson?
So I did a vodka Jack Nicholson. Yeah, I'm like, golly, how in the world did I get here? So now, high-fiving, back on high-fiving with Springsteen. So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning when the party ends, right? And I pack up my stuff, and there's a crowd of like 50 people still on the dance floor, and they're just all surrounding this one person. So I kind of make my way through, and it's Bruce, and he's like holding court, you know? And he stops in the middle of his sentence, and he comes over to me, and he says, "Man, the horn sounded great, man. It was really cool," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, it was just, it was really special. So, you know, that would be a great way to end the story right there. But it does not end there. Fast forward 6 months, I'm at Radio City Music Hall with Lyle Lovett. It's right around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. We're doing a little Christmas run. And the first thing that happened was I got in the elevator with 12 of the Rockettes. Just me with 12 of the Rockettes. Yeah. I was hoping it would break so bad, but it didn't. And so I get up, we sound check, we have dinner, we're doing the show. So with Lyle's show, he starts with the large band, and then he pares it down to like just 2 people. He really puts together a show brilliantly. Him and Hagen, the cello player. And then, he builds it back up to the end of the show, a big crescendo at the end of the show. So in the middle of the show, we have like a 45-minute break. And I can't swear to this, but there may have been alcohol involved, almost every. So we'd go out and we'd have a little lift for the end of the show. I doubt Lyle's watch. So, and it's years ago. What's he going to do? Fire me? So we would always walk up to the monitor engineer board right on the side of the stage left, and I'm standing there, and he introduces Harvey, and he introduces Steve, and I hear this voice from behind the monitor board. "Hey, Vinny." And I turn around. It's Bruce Springsteen watching the show
Again?
from, and he remembered my name. Now, probably what happened was, "Hey, see that guy over there? He looks familiar. What's his name?" His name is Vinny. But that's not how I'm telling the story. Springsteen remembered my name. So it was really, things like that. It's pretty remarkable. Anyway, sorry for the long story.
No, I think that's perfect. You win. You win. That's the best story I think I've ever heard in my life. I mean, what are the chances that you would meet everybody? Basically, you just met everybody. Right? That's fantastic.
Shots with Jack Nicholson. You got to be kidding me, man.
Shots
I mean,
Jack Nicholson.
It's just like, that was the best thing, really. Whew, gosh.
That's incredible. You turn around and it's Jack Nicholson. What are the chances? Oh, yep. Glenda says that you could write a book. Well, yeah, I would read it.
I don't know about that, but
Stories from the road. All right, Vinny, thank you so much for taking the time today. I'm sorry that this took forever and a day, but I appreciate it. And you guys go listen to this episode. There's more stuff just like this in that episode. Thank you, Vinny. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Go trumpet and bite your heart to content. Bye.